What's good?
Hey everyone.
What it do? What's poppin'? Her name is Ebony.
His name is Eugene.
And today's topic is building relationships within the church. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
3G, 3G, 3G. Yeah. I do what I do. I do what I do. You do it through me. 3G.
Let's talk about it. So, church is awesome. I mean, you can get so many great things from church, and church is actually a great place to build community, to be in community with other people, to fellowship with other believers, people that think the same as you. So it's a really good place to be. But, you know, just like anything in life, there are pros and there are cons to this greatness.
So, we got into a point in our lives where we really needed to see who was really a part of our inner circle. Like who was there for us personally opposed to being with us corporately. Now, both are great, but we really got into a place in our lives where we needed to see who was there for us personally.
Mm-hmm.
So during that process, we actually took a break and stopped going to the church that we were a part of.
Yes, we did.
And as we took that break, we got to see how everyone responded to us and how everybody went about the situation, that we were going through.
Yes.
As we were taking that break, we were still in communication with everyone who we were in communication with before we stopped taking the break.
Yes.
So one thing that we did realize was, a lot of people would say that they missed us,
Mm-hmm.
but it would always be missing us at church.
Yes.
Missing our presence at church, which there's nothing wrong with, and we understand that. But there's a difference between missing us at church and just missing us in general.
Yes.
So they would be willing to hang out with us long as we were at the church.
Mm-hmm.
And a few did even come to hang out with us personally.
Right. We did have people that wanted to hang out with us personally, which was great. It was great that these people would actually personally reach out to us to want to hang out with us. But it always seemed as if, once we would hang out with those people, certain people, they would, they'll hang out with us, but a lot of times they'll want to try to get us back to church or make the church a topic instead of just enjoying the time with each other and just enjoying life together. It would always be a target going back to church.
To where it almost seemed like their intentions of hanging out with us was to try to get us to go back into the church, instead of just hanging out with us and just seeing how we're doing, where we're at, what God is doing within us, and what we felt the Spirit was doing to us and with us.
And not saying that it's a bad thing that they want us to go back to church.
Right.
Like, that's not bad at all. But the fact that that was always like the focus, like you said, it was like kind of like a motive, it's just like, what about us as the being, us as Ebony and Eugene, just literally just hanging out with us to just want to hang out with us. And so, yeah, that was very interesting to notice and acknowledge, in a church community. I thought it would be a little different.
Right. So that's something we had to learn for ourselves, because how we are, if we're tight with you, if we're good with you in this setting, we're going to be tight with you and close with you in another setting as well.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that the relationships were tied to the church specifically.
Yeah.
So once we stopped going to the church, most of those relationships deteriorated.
Definitely.
Like once they realized that what they were saying or what they had to say wasn't enticing us or encouraging us to go back into the church, a lot of them just stopped speaking to us.
Mm-hmm.
Which we can understand to a certain degree.
Yeah.
We just needed to realize that the relationships that were in the corporate setting weren't personal.
Right.
Not all of them. Some of them were.
Some of them were.
There are a few people that we are still in contact with, that we still connect with, that we can still fellowship with, but it's very rare.
It is. It's very rare.
In my personal opinion, I pretty much associate with it as like at our jobs.
Yes, I agree totally.
Like how you have your job relationships, people that you're cool with when you speak to at work, but once work is over and you go home, there really is no relationship,
Yeah.
no personal relationship. So as long as you're at
Yeah.
that job, you guys will still communicate and still be a part of each other's life. But if you stop going to that job,
Mm-hmm.
you'll quickly realize and find out there's not much of a relationship to what you guys have.
Yeah.
And which is fine.
It
Because
is.
everywhere you go, every relationship isn't meant to be personal.
Right.
Some are just meant to be corporate. But that's something we had to figure out and go through ourselves to realize that, because we're at a point in our lives to where we need to know who's personally with us for us.
For us, yes, for Ebony and Eugene.
Right. And despite what we're a part of or what we're not a part of, who's going to still be there with us
Right.
and love us as we go through our process.
Right. And that just goes to show, like, just the relationships within the church, like, they weren't really that genuine, to be honest. Even though, like we said, like, it's a great community. It's great to be a part of a body that thinks the same, but there were not a lot of genuine relationships, you know? As much as you would think you would have genuine relationships in that setting, we didn't receive genuine relationships.
Which we didn't realize until we took a step away
Yeah.
from the church.
And when we took a break from the church and when we came back, it felt so different. And honestly, those people that we thought that we had genuine relationships with looked at us sideways, like after we took the break, you know. And it was very interesting to feel that.
And keep in mind, we took the break to better ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't take the break to intentionally weaken the church or to do anything like that. It was just something that we needed to do for us because we just felt like there was a lot going on,
Mm-hmm.
and God needed to speak to us and get us into a place where we could receive.
Yeah.
So we had to block out a lot of what we were hearing and a lot of the noise
Yeah.
that we were typically surrounded by so that we can really hear what he was saying for us during this season.
Yes.
With all that being said, we're not saying that you should not try to form relationships within the church. We're just saying to truly understand what those relationships are
Mm-hmm.
that you're forming within the church, and to recognize whether they're corporate relationships, personal relationships, and some of them may even be both.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, we're just speaking on our experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're not speaking for everyone as a whole.
Right. Because everyone's experience is different. Everyone's going to experience something different within the church. It may not be the same for you, but this is what it was for us.
Right. So, with that being said, we're thankful
Yes.
for all the relationships that we formed within the church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even the ones that were just corporate.
Right.
We still love them and we still thank them
Yes.
for the roles that they played in our lives and everything that they poured into us. And we just pray and believe that it's vice versa as well.
Yes, I feel as though they definitely helped us to become who we are today. Same with being at work, you know, You develop those relationships and they help you. They give you skills, you know, and that's how I feel the church did for us.
Definitely. So, with that being said, we're not going to make this longer than it needs to be. If you're feeling the vibe, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell as well.
And if you're not feeling this video, give us a thumbs up anyways.
That'll work. And we out.
Bye.